Pandemic restrictions led to massive layoffs and shuttered businesses. A year and a half later, we're seeing a massive change in the workforce. The economy is rebounding and every sector is hiring. But those same workers are now hesitant to go back to their original jobs. To talk more about that, we're joined by Michael Lane, Community Engagement Manager at WorkBC. Thanks for being here, Michael.
Thank you for having me, Jasmine.
Michael, we'll get into all of that, but first tell me what WorkBC is. What do you do?
WorkBC is the province's employment services program. It exists across the entire province. There are WorkBC centers available in every community across the entire province, and we all are here to provide a wide array, a vast suite of employment services to assist people who are either unemployed or underemployed with getting back to work as quickly as possible.
Right, so you hear from both sides, workers and employers. What is the labor market like right now?
Well, it's incredibly tight, particularly so here on Vancouver Island and particularly so here in Victoria. Victoria's unemployment rate last month was down to 4.3%, and that was the lowest unemployment rate in the entire country, and edging back down to where we were at pre-pandemic. So to your point in your initial comments, we have a lot of contact with employers from a wide array of industries that are trying to find employees right now to fill their staffing needs as the economy rebounds. And it's really challenging for them.
Yeah, you know, it seems like everyone is hiring. Whenever I'm out shopping, I always see the "we're hiring" signs in the window. But it seems like there aren't enough workers. Is that the case, or what's happening?
Well, that's partly the case. I mean, a very low unemployment rate means that there's just a smaller pool of potential candidates to fill these jobs. I think with the ongoing pandemic, there's still some anxiety about people going back to work, especially in customer-facing occupations. And then there's still people that are receiving CRB, and there are people that have just transitioned out of those sort of customer service-based occupations and into different occupations that were recruiting over the course of the pandemic, such as the public service sector, the healthcare sector. And so there is just a limited pool of candidates for employers to choose from.
How has the labor market shifted compared to before the pandemic?
I think in a lot of ways, we're right back to where we were before the pandemic. I think that, you know, when I was talking to employers in 2018 and 2019, they were expressing a lot of the same concerns. Companies like security companies and construction companies and retail and food service were the sectors that were struggling to find enough staff all the time. And I think that the pandemic has just exacerbated that. You know, as I say, there's people that have left those industries now for occupations that pay a higher wage, that allow them more flexibility, that allow them, you know, just opportunities to make more money. And so I think that we are right back really to where we started, with in some ways an even more limited pool of candidates to select from.
And the pandemic has kind of changed things. People are looking for different sort of flexibilities in their work. So what do employers need to do to make sure they can find and keep the staff they need?
Yeah, you know, as I say, when employers contact us and they are looking for support with their recruiting, it's very easy for us to say to them, oh, well, you know, you would have a better chance to fill these positions if you were willing to increase the wage by $5 an hour. You know, not every company is in a position to be able to do that. Very few are in a position to be able to do that. And so the coaching that we try to provide to those employers is twofold. First of all, if you can't raise the wages, how can you make yourself a more attractive employer or provide a more attractive occupational outlook? You know, are there opportunities for advancement? Are there opportunities for training on the job? Is there flexibility within the scheduling? And beyond all of that, how can you just make sure that you are seen to be a very fun and enjoyable place to work for? You know, that kind of reputation goes a long way for a lot of employers. The other key piece that we try to get across to employers is that more than ever, employers need to recognize that there is talent in some underutilized segments of the population. Persons with diverse abilities, newcomers, persons with Indigenous heritage, and youth. Those populations have still fairly high levels of unemployment as compared to the sort of general population. And so employers who are really trying to address their needs now and thinking ahead to the future are recognizing the value that exists in recruiting people from those what we call inclusion groups, and showing them that they can be welcomed and valued inside of their businesses, and in return they end up often filling those staffing needs for long periods of time.
Now, what is your role in all of this? How can WorkBC help these employers and these workers?
Well, so the good news for anyone out there who is looking for work is that WorkBC is here to help you. WorkBC is, I was trying to describe this to someone the other day, we're like a very fast race car with nowhere to go. We are an enormously underutilized resource in Victoria specifically, but really throughout the province. Part of that I recognize is that there's a low percentage of people out there that are actually looking for work. But if you are looking for work and not taking advantage of all of the support, coaching, financial supports, and really valuable services to connect you directly with employers that are going to provide long-term sustainable employment opportunities, you're really shooting yourself in the foot. You know, you need to take advantage of what WorkBC can offer.
Yeah, it's interesting to hear about this major shift we're seeing in the labor market because of the pandemic. As we mentioned, it's changed work habits and expectations, I think, on both ends for the employer and the employee. Thanks for giving us the lay of the land, Michael. We really appreciate it.
Thanks a lot for giving me the opportunity, Jasmine.